Imagine two people earning exactly the same salary. They live in the same city. They're the same age, and they work the same number of hours. 20 years later, one owns businesses, investments, assets that generate income every month. The other is still waiting for the next paycheck, still paying EMIs, still wondering why earning more never changed their life. How can two people start from the same place, yet end up with completely different futures? Most people believe the answer is income. It isn't. Some think it's luck. That's not the answer either. The real difference comes down to two simple words: assets and liabilities. Every financial decision you make, every purchase, every investment, every loan, quietly shapes your future. One path creates freedom, the other creates dependence. The problem is, most people don't even realize which path they're following. Today, we're going to uncover how wealthy people think differently about assets and liabilities. Why they don't always avoid debt. When most people hear the word asset, they think of expensive houses, luxury apartments, or large investment portfolios. And when they hear liability, they think of debt, loans, or something to avoid. But the real difference is much simpler. An asset is anything that creates value. It puts money into your pocket, helps your wealth grow, or continues generating opportunities long after you buy it. A liability does the opposite. It takes money away through repayments, interest, maintenance, or ongoing expenses. This is where wealthy people think differently. They don't ask, how much does this cost? They ask, what will this produce? Imagine two people buying the same car. One buys it to impress others. It loses value, costs money to maintain, and becomes another monthly expense. The other uses the same car to start a business. Now that car helps generate customers, income, and profit. The car didn't change, its purpose did. That's the lesson most people miss. The difference between an asset and a liability isn't always the thing itself, it's how you use it. And that's why wealthy people focus less on owning things and more on owning things that produce value. Because wealth isn't built by collecting possessions. It's built by creating income that keeps working long after you've earned it. If building wealth is really this simple, why do most people spend their lives buying liabilities instead of assets? The answer isn't income, it's psychology. From childhood, we're taught that success looks expensive. A bigger house, a luxury car, the latest phone, designer clothes. Society teaches us to admire appearances more than ownership. So people spend years trying to look wealthy before they ever become wealthy. And our brains love it. Every new purchase gives us a quick feeling of happiness, a compliment, attention, a sense of achievement. But that feeling never lasts. Soon, the excitement disappears. The new phone becomes ordinary. The luxury car feels normal. And the brain starts searching for the next upgrade. Another purchase, another EMI, another financial commitment. Without realizing it, people become trapped in maintaining a lifestyle instead of building wealth. The wealthy feel these temptations too. The difference is they don't let emotions make financial decisions. Instead of asking, will this impress people? They ask, will this improve my future? That one question changes everything. Because every rupee you spend can either disappear forever or become an asset that keeps creating value long after today. And over time, those small decisions become the difference between looking rich and becoming truly wealthy. One of the biggest myths about money is that all debt is bad. It isn't. And not every asset is automatically good. The wealthy don't divide money into good and bad. They divide it into productive and unproductive. Imagine two people taking a loan. The first borrows money to buy a luxury car. Every month brings another EMI, insurance, fuel, maintenance. The car keeps taking money. without giving anything back. Now imagine another person. They borrow money to expand a business, buy equipment, or purchase a rental property. Yes, it's still debt, but this time, that debt is helping create income. The asset earns money. The income helps repay the loan. Eventually, the loan is gone, but the asset remains. That's the difference between borrowing to consume and borrowing to produce. One delays your financial freedom. The other can help build it. The wealthy don't avoid debt. They avoid debt that doesn't create value. And they understand one more thing. Most people buy luxuries first, then hope wealth follows. The wealthy build assets first, then let those assets pay for the luxuries. That's the mindset that changes everything. Don't ask, "Can I afford this?" Instead, ask, "Can this help create more income?" Or, "Which asset will eventually pay for it?" Because the answer to that question often determines your financial future. Imagine working harder every single year, getting promotions, receiving salary raises, yet never feeling financially free. This happens to millions of people, not because they earn too little, but because every raise is followed by bigger expenses, a larger home, a newer car, higher EMIs, a more expensive lifestyle. From the outside, it looks like success, but behind the scenes, they're simply earning more to spend more. This is called lifestyle inflation. The more you earn, the more your lifestyle grows. Eventually, your salary isn't building wealth, it's only paying bills. Now, imagine someone else. Instead of upgrading their lifestyle, they use every raise to buy another asset, an SIP, an ETF, a rental property, a business, or a stock portfolio. At first, the returns seem small, almost invisible, but year after year, those assets begin generating income, and one day, their investments start paying for part of their lifestyle, not just their salary. That's the turning point. Because financial freedom doesn't begin when you earn more, it begins when your assets earn enough. That's when money stops controlling your life and starts working for you. Here's what many people misunderstand about the wealthy. They don't become wealthy because they avoid liabilities. They become wealthy because they know when a liability can help create an asset. Take real estate as an example. Imagine an investor wants to buy a 1 crore apartment. Instead of paying the full amount in cash, they make a down payment and finance the rest with a loan. At first, that loan is a liability, but then the apartment is rented out. Every month, the rental income helps cover the EMI and other expenses. As the years pass, the loan gets smaller. The property's value may grow. Eventually, the loan is paid off, but the property continues generating income. The same principle applies to business. An entrepreneur may borrow money to buy better equipment, expand operations, or open another location. If those investments increase revenue, the liability has helped build a larger asset. This doesn't mean every loan is a good loan. Debt used without a clear plan can quickly become a burden. The lesson isn't debt is good. The lesson is use debt to create value, not just for funding consumption. That's the difference between financial pressure and financial leverage. Wealthy people don't borrow to look successful. They borrow carefully only when the opportunity has the potential to create more value than it costs. And that's one of the biggest differences between a consumer and an investor. If there's one lesson hidden inside everything we've discussed, it's this. Wealth isn't created by earning more, it's created by making better decisions. Every paycheck gives you a choice. You can spend it and enjoy it today, or invest it and let it create value for years to come. The difference may seem small, but repeated over time, it changes your entire financial future. That's why wealthy people rarely ask, "How much money do I have?" Instead, they ask, "How many assets are working for me?" Because assets can do something your salary never can. They create freedom. The goal isn't to avoid every liability. Most people will borrow money at some point, for a home, a business, or an education. The real goal is making sure that debt helps build your future instead of financing your lifestyle. Every financial decision is like planting a seed. Some seeds grow into trees that produce fruit for years. Others only keep demanding more care. Assets are the trees that eventually feed you. That's why wealthy people give every investment, every loan, and every purchase a clear purpose. Because when your money has a purpose, your future has direction.